because it doesn't matter how much you know. If you don't know how to apply it and you don't know how to use what you know, you're not going to go anywhere. And I think practicing and getting a structure is just super important. Like,
actually repeat takers, because I know that that's kind of like a shot to your confidence. I think that state of mind and just having ultimate confidence is a big key to being able to succeed.
Definitely do 3,000 questions.
MBEs, when you say.
Yeah, MBE questions, right? Do a lot of essays, but make sure you're not strengthening your strengths, if that makes sense. Like, don't just work on the subject areas that you're strong at. Don't be afraid of, if you do an essay and you don't finish in time or you didn't know the rule, okay, look at the answer and then do it again. Put the timer on and do it again. You have to face that. You have to face that fear and break that anxiety so that the thing that makes you uncomfortable or throws you off becomes something that you actually look forward to. Because that was the issue for me with the MBEs. And then I felt like I got to a point, maybe not mastery, but I got good at it, right? And doing that, and then also, like I said, I keep saying the mindset part, but I think you have, and this was something that, my coach told me, was that you have to take the power, back from the exam, especially as people who are repeat takers. I think that's the hardest part, because you feel like this is happening to you and it becomes this whole why me, instead of you reclaiming that power and saying, okay, this is a test, but I got to this point. I'm going to conquer this test, and nothing is going to stop me. And when I see something I don't know, I'm not going to get, flustered or rattled. I'm going to just push through and use my, fundamentals and my skills that I've learned and execute.
I would say do as many MBA questions as you can, like even if it's 30 a day, be consistent, because you can gain a lot of points from the MBE. I missed the first time I took it, I missed the passing score by 5 points. My essays are fine. They were pretty consistently high. But like the MBEs, like you can make up the difference, even if you miss an essay, right? You can make up the difference of the MBEs, and it also builds up your stamina if you're doing it every day.
One thing I would tell them is I think it's exactly what you told me. Don't be your own worst enemy. Because I think I struggled with that. And I know, like, I don't want to say the first 2 times that I didn't pass was because I was my own worst enemy, but I really doubted myself. And I think after you don't pass the first time, you're like, okay, well, maybe, I just didn't understand some things. But after the second time, I was like, well, maybe it's me. Like, maybe I'm not as smart as I think I am, or I don't know as much as I think I should know. And I think the last time around, like, working with you really helped build up my confidence. And I think that's key. Like, if you don't believe in yourself and if you don't think you can do this, it makes it 10 times harder,
I think practicing is the best thing you could do. And not just practicing writing. No, like, check it with someone, especially like have someone review it, because I improved. All of the points that I got this time weren't from my multiple choice. It was from my essays. Like, I believe actually I only improved maybe like 3 or 4 points in multiple choice, but that means that I improved about 20 points in my essays. And it was because I wasn't eye-racking properly.
Versus practicing, for sure. Do more practice, focus less on memorization, and I would say practice. That's all you could do. And honestly, you're gonna hope that, I'm not gonna lie, I think I actually saw one of the questions that I had in a practice book, and it was like the same exact.
I would say get confidence. Somewhere along the line. It's not going to start in the beginning, confidence and being accountable to yourself, knowing what you were supposed to do versus what you haven't done, and also being open and accountable to your coach. You know, it's okay to say, I haven't gotten to this point. This is what we laid out for this week. And, you know, adjusting your schedule for the week. Because it's, you know, it's a lot of adjustments. Sometimes you have to focus more, or, you know, you've kind of grasped something. Just because you've grasped it doesn't mean that you want to you want to drill it down, but you also want to give, you know, adequate time for something else so you can reach that same level of expertise.
It's sticking to it. I mean, just sticking to the schedule. So, for me, I know it was huge. I prioritized, you know, some of my weaker areas. Yeah. So right away it was making sure no matter what I got my questions done, and then of course it was working on, you know, a lot of essays. I know I had some issues with essays, and you know, making sure that I you know, got several practice essays, and you know, again, just filling in the gaps. So.
I would tell them to take the bar seriously. It's not one of those tests that you can just, you know, pull an all-nighter. It's
can't cram for the bar exam.
Yeah, no. And a second piece of advice that I would give is plan it out. You know, take it seriously, plan it out. Because if you don't have a plan, you will get lost. Because there's so many subjects and there's so many things that you need to know, and the most important part about knowing that information is how to apply it, and planning really helps.